All right, and we're back. Welcome, everybody. This is Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared. He's Bob. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe. I don't know what is going on with my eye. Looks like I have a lazy eye right now. My eyelid was just stuck. If you're watching on YouTube, you're like, oh, is he retarded? Well, yes, I am. But also, I have an eye that doesn't work correctly at the moment. Um, right out of the gate, I saw this right before we got on air. So I think my eye being retarded fits the world being retarded right now. Two things. First one, the New York Times posted an article. Is that what they do? Do they post articles? They wrote an article? I don't know. They published an article. That's what it is. About Osama bin Laden. And the title, I'm sorry, let me back up. For those of you that don't know who Osama bin Laden is, he was the piece of shit that was behind the 9/11 attacks, right? That's the guy. I don't have him confused with anybody, right?
Is this where we're at in the world? We have to start explaining who bin Laden was?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just want people to know, that they make sure they didn't forget, really, because
like how people forget that James Conner had cancer.
Yeah, or that
Chris
Julian Edelman used to play quarterback.
And then Chris Hogan used to play lacrosse. Then he used to play football. Then he played lacrosse again, and now he plays football again.
Yeah.
People forget.
So yeah, that the same Osama bin Laden, that guy. New York Times published an article. The title of it: Osama bin Laden, the fanatical terrorist and the devoted family man.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be a fucking. The second you brought it up, I knew it was going to be like a sympathy piece.
Yeah, that is the New York Times, arguably the number one. I don't know the rankings of newspapers, honestly, because newspapers suck and they're all going to be extinct eventually. But arguably the number one newspaper in the country. Again, in case anyone didn't catch it the first time, Osama bin Laden, the fanatical terrorist and the devoted family man.
So if I was going to say that 9/11 was the worst attack on American soil since Pearl Harbor,
yes,
would I be forgetting an event?
It would be the worst foreign terrorist attack. There were some domestic, like Timothy McVeigh.
Wasn't as bad.
No, I don't think so. Okay, he's the one that blew up was it the Oklahoma City bombing?
Yeah.
So it definitely wasn't as bad as the the Vegas shooting wasn't as bad as 9/11.
None of this stuff's as bad.
Well, yeah, I think it's pretty fair to say that 9/11 was the worst thing that happened here since Pearl Harbor. I think you're totally on board.
Or the most catastrophic, whatever adjective you want to use.
Yeah, pick whatever one you want.
But yeah, leave it to the New York Times to give us, why he was misunderstood.
Yeah, devoted family man. Which, by the way, I happen to follow Rob O'Neill on Instagram. For those of you that don't know, also Rob O'Neill was the Navy SEAL that shot bin Laden and killed him. So Rob O'Neill posted this headline on Instagram, which is where I saw it, and goes, yeah, he was such a family man that he hid behind his wife when we came in the door. Luckily for me, he was taller than her.
That's pretty good. Good.
Yeah. Yep.
Fucking A.
Imagine that. This is where we're at.
I mean, God, like how good of a family man can you be when you go on the run for as long? What do you go on the run? 10 years?
Yeah, pretty long. They got him in 2012, I think.
Yeah, so 11 years.
Yeah. At minimum a decade.
So how good of a family man could he have been when he was on the run from, I don't know, everyone.
Yeah. He also, I think, pretty sure he had like 13 wives. So
Yeah, I
how
was gonna,
can you be a great family man when you have 13 wives?
but like the other thing, why does that even get written?
That is the question that I think people are not asking. That is the question that needs to be asked. Who okayed
Why,
that?
like,
Why is that article even being written in the first
so there's a
place?
couple things. Why is this a why is it being written?
Right.
Who thought of this to say, you know what the world needs in the New York Times? We need to look deeper into Bin Laden. Then an editor had to look at it and go, "Yep." And then maybe someone else had to also say, "Yeah, that's a good idea."
Yeah. 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 You know what? We should lead with that.
Like, what the fuck? I
Yeah.
just, I, yeah, he died in 2011. So,
2011. So
hey,
about 10 years.
devoted family man. One, two, three, four, five wives. Between 20 and 26 children. You think he can fucking care for 20 to 26 children?
No.
How about
Ask
this?
Antonio Cromartie how that's going for him with like 13.
Want to know how I know he can't care for 20 to 26 children? Is because there's a fucking range on how many kids he has. We
Yeah.
don't know.
We don't know.
Between 20 and 26, he doesn't know how many kids he has.
Yeah.
So some asshole at the New York Times thought, hey, this is a good idea. I'm going to write this article. And some other asshole read that article and goes, yeah, we'll publish this. And then never mind that these two assholes sitting here on this fucking podcast have just pretty much debunked all of it.
Yeah. Right. Like someone would have to sit there and be uh I'm trying to even find like the pitch for whoever is the author of that article going to their boss being like, hey, you know who really has like an untold story that like we should really focus on is Osama bin Laden. So like the dickhead had to there's one dickhead number one had to come up with the idea. Dickhead number two had to okay it. And then editor dickhead had to actually process it. And then the dickhead newspaper, like company, just prints it and runs it. So,
And
but
then
yeah, he
never
was a
mind,
good guy.
you're basically just fucking open hand bitch slapping any of the families or any of the people involved in 9/11 or anyone
Or
that
the
went to
following
Afghanistan.
GWAT that lasted until now.
Yeah, I mean, is it even over?
No, we're out of Afghanistan, but I think we're still in Iraq or vice versa. I don't know.
I don't, I
I
don't
don't
know.
keep track. We're never not going to be there though. Like we
Yeah,
might have like most of everyone out, but we're never not going to have a presence.
fucking hey.
Yeah. Or you know what a lot of it is, I bet too. This is me putting on a tinfoil hat here, is and just not trusting anybody, is that the government is pulling out, but now I bet you they're sending private contractors over. So the military industrial complex is chugging right along because all these defense contractor companies, like I said, are sending over private security or like, military, and they're getting paid by the government. So there's no like government funded military over there, but I bet you there's still a bunch of private contractors because that's just how the world works.
Why would they do that though? They wouldn't
Yeah.
do, the government wouldn't do that.
Yeah. No, the government is very objective and very,
They're
very
here to act for you.
not shady. They're on the up and up. Government's very transparent. We should actually have a bigger government. We need more overreach by the government because they're so transparent and so good at what they do. They should just control everything. They should just
Probably
tell us everything, tell us what we should think.
I mean, aren't they already doing that?
Yeah, they're
Like
trying to.
literally right now.
They're literally trying to with the whole Facebook thing that happened a couple weeks ago. The White House press secretary came out and said you shouldn't just be banned from one social media platform. They're like, if you're banned from one, you should be kicked off of all of them. So now you have the federal government dictating, or not dictating because they're not really doing it yet, but the federal government is telling the big tech companies what to do. They're like, yeah, if you kick one person off of your platform, you got to kick them off of all, even though they're not all owned by one person. Like obviously Zuckerberg is Facebook and Instagram, Jack Dorsey is Twitter. I don't know who owns Snapchat, but and I know the Chinese government owns TikTok.
Snapchat's
but
public now.
What'd you say?
Snapchat's public now.
Oh, okay, yeah, but there's got to be someone who runs it though.
Oh yeah, there's probably a CEO
because they're all public. Facebook is public, Twitter's public. Like, but
oh yeah, true. I guess so. None of those guys actually own those companies. They just founded them, right?
Yeah, they're founders and CEOs. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're majority shareholders. Maybe I don't know. I have no idea how any of that works. I'm talking out of my ass, but the which isn't new. It's par for the course.
Yeah, you start doing that today.
Yeah, yeah. Trying this new thing. And then the second thing I just saw, both of these I just saw scrolling through Instagram right before we got on here and started recording. Breaking news. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, the same one that everyone loves, everyone's favorite New York City mayor. That last year when Black people were clamoring for equality and to not be treated differently than white people, and trying to go against police brutality and all this stuff. The same Mayor de Blasio that said, "I hear you. Here's a mural."
Yep.
We're not actually going to do anything. We're going to paint a picture on the side of one of our buildings because we stand with you. And all the Black people were like, yeah, but we want action. And he goes, I know. Here's a mural.
Yeah,
we're allies. Yeah, that same guy just announced that, and this is great too. This is how they all run through like marketing and PR departments. They have a thing called the Key to New York City Pass. Do you want to gather a guess as to what the Key to New York City Pass actually is?
A vaccine passport?
A vaccine passport. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. So now it is official. New York City has vaccine passports, but they're not calling them that. They're calling them the key to the city. It's a key to the New York City pass that you have to show in order to get into any business. So subsequently, again, this is still pretty new here as we're recording here. I've seen a bunch of people already put out, get ready for the lawsuits because they're coming. Because you can't do this. And then I saw another person, which we've talked about already on the show. We've literally pulled up the statistics on Google as to the percentage of people that are vaccinated. And I don't know what they are now, but at the time, it was like, it was in the 60s. It was in the mid 60% of all white people that were eligible. And then was it like 17% of Latino and maybe like 18% of Black people?
Something like that
were eligible. Or maybe it was 11% Latino. I know Latino was the lowest out of all of them.
It was definitely in the tens of numbers.
Yeah. So Latino was like somewhere in the low teens. And I think all Black people were somewhere around 20%. But white people that were eligible were in the 60s. So call it 65%. So we had said on this show, you cannot do a vaccine passport because it would very quickly be recognized as discrimination. So that are also more posts that I'm seeing on Instagram right now, is that people are like, well, New York City reinstituted segregation under the guise of vaccines.
So I saw it actually. Because I was looking at this, obviously, because I'm a dickhead. And um, what you're starting to see now is the left, and I know we've alluded to this before,
Yeah.
but the left is starting to like lose their shit because someone goes, "Hey, that's discrimination," and then other people go, "God, I hate hearing that. I hate hearing that. It's not discrimination. They can go and get the vaccine. Like they're eligible. They can get it. It's everywhere. You can walk in, whatever." I'm so sick of everything becoming racism in this country. Well, what does that sound a lot like?
Sounds kind of similar to voters having to show an ID.
Well, so I'm gonna play square on this because the one thing is it's not your right to go to these places that require a vaccine passport. You do have the right to vote.
Right. Right.
But that sounds a lot like a conservative take, doesn't it?
It
Sounds a
does.
lot like when you say take down the Confederate statues and they go, "I'm so sick of you guys calling the Confederate statues racist. That's our history. It's just a statue." So, sounds similar, doesn't it? Kind
Yeah,
of.
it does. It does.
Sounds similar to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do we know?
Liberals are. I think the liberal, and I'm not talking people like that, like a line just left to center. I'm talking like out there,
Yeah.
the ones that no one should listen to anyway.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a fucking conniption over this. They really fucking back themselves into a corner.
Yeah. No, they just fucked themselves because these are the same type of people that are the BLM people. Like this is, well, we have to do everything. These are the same people also that using the voter ID thing have been saying, well, you know, their take on it was we can't require voter ID because, and you follow the argument down the line, and it's like, well, do you think that minorities are incapable of acquiring IDs? Because anyone can have an ID in this country. You just apply for one and you get one. It's not like a driver's license where you have to pass a test. You just go in, you apply for an ID, you pay a fee, and then you get an ID.
It's that easy.
It's that easy. They're everywhere.
You still get one. Well, you can't possibly ask a black person to get an ID.
Yeah. But the vaccine is so readily available. They can get it anywhere. It's not racist. It's not racist.
No, they can just go get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So did we already take a victory lap of this doing nothing? Yeah, we did in the last episode. I said you need to take a victory lap because you said the vaccine is more likely to do nothing than it is to do harm because all the people that are fully vaccinated now are getting COVID still.
Yep. So I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm glad you did, because piggybacking off my last rant where I kind of went nuts on the vaccinated people being so tough, so mighty, and they're gonna show them. Isn't it like seriously impressive? You might need a tinfoil hat for this, not sure. Is what we're watching an absolute masterclass in manipulation? Because we're seeing vaccinated people versus unvaccinated people. The vaccinated people are blaming the unvaccinated people for everything, and the unvaccinated people are sitting there saying, vaccine doesn't do anything, doesn't protect you. Look at all the people getting COVID with it. So you got vaccinated versus unvaccinated, and look who is just skirting behind the scenes, guy behind the curtain. It's the politicians. Here they are.
Yep.
And they are doing all the bullshit. Oh, we'll get rid of masks. Look, people are getting vaccinated. We'll get rid of some stuff. Well, no, cases are going up. Let's bring masks back. Let's bring restrictions back. Like, oh, let's keep the people on their toes. We never know when we're going to lock it down again.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, but meanwhile, people are too busy getting pissed about either unvaccinated people or their own debates with scientific data that we don't really have, but everyone thinks they do. Like, I don't know, whatever. I mean, we have history. I mean, we have like what, a year's? No, not even a year. What month is it? We have like 8 months really of data,
Yeah.
and it's like live data, so we have no fucking clue.
Right.
And then this is where we'll see. But the politicians just sitting behind the scenes doing nothing.
Yeah. All this
I don't know if
is
that's tinfoil hatty, because it's like,
no, it
they're
definitely
sitting
is.
back, like someone is so fucking smart in the government that they're sitting there going, what would be fucked up is if we can somehow pit the people against each other, pit pig dealers against each other, and we'll have vaccinated versus unvaccinated, so we can sit here and do whatever we want. No one will be paying attention. And I
Yeah.
know someone in the fucking government is that smart. It's probably a fucking intern or something, but someone. It's definitely not an elected official. I think we know that.
No. So I think you're spot on there again. So yes, I think it is a masterclass on manipulation. I think you nailed it on the head. But I agree with you that the politicians are the ones that benefit from this because the people are fighting, so no one's paying attention to what's going on. It's a classic like bait and switch, you know what I mean? But what I don't think that there are, like, I don't think this was premeditated, I think is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think someone sat there and was like, we need to hatch a scheme to keep the people occupied so we can just continue to do stupid shit. I think that the situation presented itself and that the politicians seized the moment and took the opportunity and started just going after each other, and they lit the fuse, like they started it, and then they just let the media fucking blow it way out of proportion, because that's what they do now.
Let people be stupid.
It's the same exact thing. Like, seriously, they say history repeats itself, but like, I never would have realized that history would repeat itself so fucking quickly. Literally last year during lockdowns, it was the Black Lives Matter and the protest stuff. Like, it kept people so divided, and like the system and racism and police brutality, like all of last year, or actually, was that probably starting in 2019, leading into 2020, because then 2020 was COVID. Like, there have been so many things that all the politicians really need for us to do is just to hate each other, and they get to go about their day doing nothing, and they can do like shady fucking back alley deals and take money from corporations and line the pockets of their fucking cronies, and no one's paying attention because people are too mad. We said this before, I'm pretty sure, on the show, because back then people were too mad yelling at each other over whether or not you're wearing a mask. Well, now people are yelling at each other again about whether or not you're vaccinated. It's the same fucking thing. It's just changed again. So it's like, just follow the pattern. Like, who benefits from chaos? It's the people that are already in power. They just get more power, or they get to keep their power they have and not actually do their job by serving the people. It's fucking, it's wild. But no one can sit there and think about that. People, again, because people are like, well, you don't have a vaccine? Well, it's easy. You just go get it anywhere. It's like, all right, well, yeah, I'm not here to argue with you about whether or not who's vaccinated, how easy it is to get. Let's talk about some real issues that are going on, which this could be great too. You could throw it right in their face. Yeah, remember like 9 months ago when you were all like about defund the police? Where's that at now? Where's that cause? Have you given that cause up already? You only did that because that's when the news was covering it. So now that the news doesn't cover it anymore, you're on to vaccines, right? Who's vaccinated, who's unvaccinated. And then what's the next thing going to be? People are fucking sheep. They watch the news and they just do and react to whatever the news tells them to do. I guarantee you, if you take all those people that posted all the fucking black squares on Instagram last year, which still to this day, my favorite response was Jamie, when he got home from work that day and came home. Yeah, we got home from work and came home. That's really fucking good English, dumbass. He
It's
came
kind of
home and was like,
redundant.
he was like, dude, is Instagram broken? Because he actually works a real job and doesn't follow stupid social media bullshit and just saw a bunch of black squares. Ask all those people that posted all those black squares where they're at now. Have they donated any money to defund the police? The cause? Well, because they definitely didn't donate money to police. So do they give money to the cause of defunding the police? Have they picketed? Have they protested? What have they done since, I don't know, maybe November? You know, like that's the last time that was like a big thing. What have they done? Nothing, because they don't care about that anymore because they're on to the new thing. And it's vaccines. And it's like, it's ridiculous. Like these people, no one actually cares about this. That's the funny thing, is that all of these causes, I would say at least 60% of the people that are all gung-ho about any cause really don't even actually give a shit about the cause. They're just doing it because they think they're supposed to, and they want to look cool to everybody else. It's like virtue signaling to the max.
You are right. White people do suck.
Yes.
That's how I interpreted that.
Yes. Yep. Yep. So fuck everybody. The world is going to shit. New York City sucks. De Blasio blows. Everyone hates him. That's the other thing too, is like his approval rating was like down the fucking shitter.
Yeah, no one likes him
last year. Everyone hates him. And then the other thing, the other breaking news about the fine state of New York. New York is doing great. New York is thriving right now. I feel like we've been saying that a lot lately. But our boy, well, not Fredo. So who would he be? If his brother is Fredo, he can't be Sonny. He get fucked.
He can't be any of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, no, maybe he would be Sonny, because Michael is like the non-existent brother that comes in and actually saves everything, and Sonny is just kind of like incompetent.
Well, he's just a hothead. That was the problem.
Yeah. So let's call him Sonny. Sonny Cuomo.
That seems a little disrespectful to Sonny, honestly. Because this guy really is a fucking cocksucker. Sonny was just a hothead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to a fault, but this guy fucking sucks. Like,
yeah.
really sucks.
Well, he sucks so much that he may not actually be in his position anymore, because there was an announcement today by the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, that said it was a 165-page report that came out and said that Governor Andrew Cuomo was guilty of sexual harassment of several women.
That doesn't bode well.
No. Definitely does not bode well. So the Attorney General down there, so the highest ranking lawyer in the state, just said that the governor was guilty of this.
I'm sorry, was it sexual assault or sexual harassment?
Sexual harassment.
Okay.
It was 165.
I would say I believe we've moved on where they're both one and the same now, but
yeah, I don't think people care. 165-page report details suggestive comments and the, quote, unwelcome and non-consensual touching of 11 women, 9 of which were state employees. The report found that in at least one case, Cuomo and his staff retaliated against the accuser. So that's good. There you go.
Yeah, in case what he did wasn't bad enough, now he
threatened one of the people that came forward.
Yeah, so now we have retaliation against it too.
Yeah. So Cuomo's official response.
You can't even retaliate against someone who's like, oh, I want to take a day off for like paid medical, whatever. And like, if you retaliate against that person, you can get your ass sued.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let alone like fucking actual criminal activity.
So Cuomo's official response to this, quote, The facts are much different from what has been portrayed. He maintains that he, quote, has never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances. Okay. Well, the hey Andy, the 165 page report done by the Attorney General's office would say otherwise. So, I mean, I don't think you're gonna lie if you work in the Attorney General's office and you're investigating the governor of that state. And 165 pages is a pretty drawn out lie. You know, like if you were going to lie, maybe keep it to like 4 or 5 pages. Be like, yeah, he did it. He did this to this person. And yeah, we don't have a lot of details. Like 165 pages is a lot of fucking, that's a lot of details.
Yeah, or like, wouldn't you feed it to a private firm? Like, you wouldn't go through the state.
No, I think you do. It's the Attorney General's office.
No. If it was like a frivolous lawsuit.
Oh, yeah. Be like, yeah, you handle this. So that's great. He's finally going to get his ass kicked out of there because he fucking sucks. And he skated. He skated after the whole COVID thing. He killed a bunch of old people by putting COVID positive people in nursing homes. Let's not forget about that either.
And then wrote a book about how good he did.
Yes. And then wrote a book about how awesome he was and how he handled COVID.
That's the thing. Charlie Baker did the same thing, truthfully. Just no one's talking about it because he didn't write a book about it.
Yes. So now that the AG's office released that report, Sleepy Joe has woken up from his slumber and he has called for the resignation of Governor Cuomo. So it's a tough day.
Wow.
Tough day for Andy Cuomo.
Wow. Imagine that. His own guy betrayed him.
Yep. Yeah. So
so I guess in closing, Andrew Cuomo, go fuck yourself.
Yes. So now that stupid bullshit, the world is falling apart stuff is out of the way. You got anything good to talk about?
I mean, I can give an update on Leo.
Yeah.
So let's say Tuesday. So we've had him for 3 days, 2 nights.
Yep. Little rascal.
Yeah. So he's slept through both nights so far.
That's good.
So I can't wait for him to not sleep one night. Actually, it'll probably be one of those because like right now Michaela's sleeping on the couch with him downstairs.
Yeah.
It'll probably be once she decides to go back up, he'll just like fucking lose his shit all night.
Yeah.
Can't wait. The interesting thing is with him is there's 2 spots that he has really, really taken a liking to. One is underneath a chair and also an ottoman. They're the same height. He just goes right underneath. Yep, we got a bed out, carpet. He could go in his crate where there's another bed. But nope, he'll just go underneath the chair.
Yep.
The second spot that he has taken a liking to is sitting or laying right on top of the AC vent. The AC vent's in the ground.
Yep.
And he just goes and just lays right on top of it. Seems to like doing that too. Only problem is because he's about 8 pounds, is I think he gets too cold too quick. So he has to like leave. He leaves the grate. Like wedges himself in between the coffee table and the bed. Not in the bed, but like in between the bed and the coffee table.
Yep.
And then he'll go back over to the grate a little bit later. So
that's awesome.
He's got that going for him. Other than that, I mean, he sits, he does down. I don't think he's shit in the house today.
That's good.
I mean, he's not house trained, so
yeah,
we're working on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Really likes to drink water, which is a problem because he pisses
Yeah,
everywhere.
that he's got to piss all the time. It's like, hey, dude,
So,
maybe drink a little bit less water.
well, we don't. We just give him less now
Yeah. Oh,
because
yeah, that's true.
day one we left a bowl for him. We just left the bowl there,
Yeah.
and he was just like pissing, non fucking stop.
He's
So
drinking water while he's pissing.
now he gets half a cup every 2 hours.
It's like that scene from Austin Powers when he hides behind the water fountain and he
Oh,
unplugs
that's
it.
crazy.
So he's got a piss and then he just drinks the water bottle and the piss just comes right out.
Dude, his bladder has got to be the size of a fucking cashew. Like that's the other thing too is like so when he does piss, it's like it's not a lot.
Right,
It's
right.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And then did I tell you? Did I mention like the heartbeat toy?
Yes. To me, not on the show.
Oh, okay. Because I saw it. Oh, wait. When did I talk to you?
You told me
Oh,
about
no, no,
it
no, no. Okay.
after we recorded one of the episodes when I was at your house.
Oh, okay. No. So he's got this. So he's got this stuffed animal, and the stuffed animal has a heartbeat to it. And one of my clients also bought him one, so he's got two of them. Really, one's still in the package,
Yeah.
But the other one, he grabs it, rips it out of the crate, comes over, and immediately like tries to start humping it. This dog is fucking 8 weeks old, and he's already trying to fucking hump the stuffed animal.
Yeah. He
Just because
knows.
just because it has a fucking heartbeat.
Anything with a heartbeat.
So bad. So now he only gets that at night when
Yeah.
it's time to go to bed, and it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh man. What a dog. That's got to be where that saying comes from.
Gotta be, I guess.
Oh,
Other than that, I mean, played a golf tournament yesterday. I worked today, so I've been here, but not really.
yeah. How was the tournament?
Tournament wasn't bad.
Myopia?
Myopia. So the Myopia Hunt Club is one of the oldest clubs probably in the state.
Yeah.
If not like looking back in the country.
Yeah.
And so the deal with Myopia Hunt is it hosted I think 4 of the first 7 US Opens,
Oh wow.
of which some took place in the 1800s.
Cool.
So this place is fucking old.
Yeah.
Old.
Well, it was built by the British. 1772.
It's not necessarily true. Could have been colonists who eventually became Americans. So, yeah. So when so it's actually kind of crazy. I don't know if you spent any time in Beverly, but you're on Route 1A in Beverly, and there's strip malls, grocery stores. Like this is like normal life. Like nothing weird about this. So then you get into Wenham, I think it's
Wenham.
Wenham.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like still normal life, kind of whatever. And then all of a sudden, there's this sign that's about the size of a fucking scorecard.
Yep. It says welcome to
yellow.
Hamilton.
Well, you see welcome to Hamilton, but the sign is yellow with red lettering, so you can barely fucking see this. And that's where you need to turn in for Myopia. When you pull in, it's like wooden fences and like seriously, you take this right off of 1A, which is normal life, and it's like you fucking just turn back in time. And I'm pretty sure they intentionally block cell phone service and GPS. So this is kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah. So
you pull in on the right, it says Myopia Polo, Sundays at 3. Like, what? Polo? There's polo fields at this place. So go in, keep driving. There's a sign that says horses have the right of way. Please yield.
Yeah.
So horses have the right of way to you. And then, so you finally pull in, parking is just like everywhere because there's no parking lot. There's too many horse fields and polo fields, whatever.
Yeah.
So the I go up and one of the guys had told me, he's like, you gotta go in the locker room. Like, he goes, I don't think we're allowed in, but you gotta go in. It's like a fucking time machine. Now we were allowed in because the guy who took my bag said, and that's the other thing too, is like the guy takes your bag. I'm like, dude, you do not need to carry this thing, man. I am
Yeah.
too much of a piece of shit for you to be carrying my bag, especially because I didn't have a $5 bill on me, so we got $3. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have cash on me. I don't know why I didn't think of it. Whatever. So I go in the locker room and it is fucking old. Like old, like smells of rich mahogany and leather
Yeah.
bound
Yeah.
books. Like fucking old. Like it looks like an old church, just no stained glass, like high ceiling, like fucking this place is old. Now we go up, you go to the range, we come down to putt, and I'm on the putting green, and guy Steve's like, he goes, yeah, they're probably gonna give us some speech about the 4 US Opens and highest score to par. I don't know. It's like some long thing. He goes, oh, go ask AC, the guy, the Irish dude. He's played there a lot. So he goes, AC, you ready for the myopia speech? He goes, oh fuck, he's not gonna do that again, is he? Lo and behold, he does. He goes on the whole speech. 4 US Opens for the first 7, highest scores to par ever. It's like 331 for 4 rounds. Like this place is fucking like it's this is historical.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Bobby and actually, so me and you fucking retards played Franklin Park.
Yep.
So when Bobby Jones, who made the Grand Slam in the 30s, when he was at Harvard Law School, he used to play myopia. He used to play Franklin Park. Like that's where he used to practice.
Hmm.
Well, that Bobby Jones went and designed Augusta National, like the best course like in our country and then potentially in the world.
Yes.
So Bobby Jones used to spend a lot of time at Franklin Park and a lot of time at Myopia Hunt, also some time at St. Andrews, and then spit out Augusta National. So I'm not saying Augusta National is modeled after Myopia, but his knowledge of playing Myopia definitely was not disregarded.
Yeah. Did you notice any holes that were similar?
Not holes, but the golf course itself has a ton of blind shots. So like blind tee shots, elevation changes, like the entire. So this is the fucked up thing is. So we started, and you can definitely tell that some aspects of Augusta National are also seen at Myopia. I just don't want to say it was modeled after it because the land is the land. That's what you get. So all the elevation changes in the fairways that are just fucking diagonal, and it's like if you hit your ball on the right side of the fairway, it's going to end up in the left fescue. Like that might be coincidence. It might be something that they went with, or maybe when he was scoping land, he goes, "Hey, this kind of looks like myopia," or I've seen this before at Franklin Park, like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we started on the 15th hole because it was a shotgun. And the 15th tee is the highest point on the golf course. The entire golf course, if you were looking with the 15th tee on your very right, because it's the highest point, it's the furthest point away from the clubhouse, 15 tee is right of you. The entire property just slopes down
Jeez.
to the left. So that means a couple things. One, when you're driving to 15T, you can basically see the whole property, which is crazy. You just do not get that anywhere.
Yeah.
When you're on 15T, the other thing is this place is obviously built a billion years ago. There weren't cars, let alone golf carts. So
Right.
the golf cart paths are basically just cut into the fescue and whatever. So from 15T, you see all these hills and all these slopes, and you just see golf carts kind of like going through. It's almost like when like a train going through a mountainside. Like honestly, that's what it looked like.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
That seems. It's like that's what it felt like you saw. So then what you get with that is, again, if the orientation I gave you everything goes right to left. So if you have a fairway, it slopes that way. If you have greens, it kind of moves that way. Outside of a couple man-made built things, but I think like eight of the tee shots are blind.
Yeah.
Like you get some blind approaches. Like it was fucking hard. Like it was a really fucking hard golf course.
Yeah.
And then the other part with it, so wind howling, no knowledge of this place, I've never played before. There were a lot, and this is everybody, a lot of good shots that just get fucking thrown into God knows where. Like bunkers that you can't see and had no idea they were there and you can barely get out.
Yeah.
Fescue, like the rough is like about 5 yards wide, and then it's just this deep, thick fescue, like not like that tall, wispy stuff that like blows in the like this shit is fucking fucked.
Yeah.
If you find your ball, good fucking luck. It's either gonna go like if you took a club and you were gonna hit out of that fescue, and it was like say you were 150 yards out and you take your 150 club, that ball could have gone anywhere from 70 yards to 180 yards, and you had no idea what was about to come.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like it really is a throwback, and it's probably the most phenomenal piece of land I've ever seen. The golf course is super nice, real obviously awesome shade, great
Yeah.
shape,
Yeah.
but I don't even know. I have quite literally no comparison to it outside of the fact that some elements, I'm going to say Franklin Park because we just played there and you played there. Some elements of some of these Donald Ross courses exist, but I think that's just because it's New England and the land and that's what you get.
Yeah.
But it was like nothing I've ever even laid eyes on before.
How were the fourth and the ninth holes?
So 4, you know what? 4 is interesting because there's nothing to it. So 4 is a dog leg left, and I know why you brought up 4 and 9. So it's a dog leg left. It was about, so we were playing like white tees. It's about 250 straight ahead. So I hit a driver, which leaves me a wedge in, and it was a pin cut on the right. And what happens there is the entire green just like sweeps down to the left.
Yeah.
So if you hit like center of the green, your ball's fucking gone. But everything's cut short, which is almost like I would say fringe, but fringe is almost offensive as to how short this was cut.
Yeah.
It was cut like a slow green. So you just kind of throw it into that fringe and the ball either releases or you're putting from the fringe and it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful hole, but I don't know. I mean, because so it's one of the top 100 in the country. I know that.
So I just looked it up. I was trying to find more about it, and it said that myopia, oddly enough, is the only course in the United States to be listed at when Golf Magazine as having 2 of the top 100 signature holes, which really blows my mind that Augusta only has 1. But
So
it is the only course
it's in
again.
the country, right? Not the world.
Yeah, only course in the United States to have been listed by Golf Magazine as having 2 of the US's top 100 signature holes, which is the 4th and the 9th.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Also, I wonder like what hole from Augusta you think is on there. You think it's 13?
Like 12.
12. Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is when you get like US stuff, you're gonna get some like ocean courses like Cyprus, National Golf Links. Like you're gonna get some of that stuff. Like there's
or like some of that random wherever they played in Montana.
No, you won't get Montana, but you'll get like you got to think old, like old, and you got to think like old part of the country. So, like you'll get Chicago, Philadelphia Cricket Club, you'll get Augusta, East Lake. Like you got to think like Chicago and East, and then you move to like California, where it's like
Yeah.
Riviera and like whatever.
So that's
Uh,
funny that you say that because I Googled the oldest golf courses in the country, and Myopia is not on the list. However, it should be. Um, I have a top 10 list according to this, so I know it's bullshit. Um, 10 was Cogue or Cogue.
Never heard of it.
I don't know, Cogue Field Club in Cogue, New York. Um, Built in 1901, the club was established 1887. Number 9 is St. Andrew's Golf Club in Hastings on Hudson, New York. The next one is Chicago Golf Club. So I think there were 2 or 3 in this top 10 that were in Chicago. So Chicago Golf Club is 8. Newport Country Club is number 7,
That's old as hell.
established in 1893.
Yeah, that's old as
The
that
Country
held the
Club
first.
in
Yeah.
Brookline. That was 1893 also. Downers Grove, the original Chicago Golf Club. Shinnecock was 1891. Number 3 is the Foxburg Country Club in Pennsylvania. According to this list, number 2 is the Dorset Field Club in Dorset, Vermont. And then according to this list, again, number 1 is Oakhurst Links in 1884. But I Googled Myopia Hunt, and it says it was established in 1882.
Yeah, and the golf course was built in 1894.
Yeah.
So it's not older than what you just said, but it's older than 1901.
Yeah.
I mean, it held a U.S. Open before one of those courses on that list.
Right.
So even if we're gonna be like, oh well, the dates kind of jumbled up. Well, there ain't no debate on this one. It held an 1898 U.S. Open. Period. Done. That's
right.
it. So you also brought up the 9th hole, and
Yes.
the 9th hole. This is fun. So we pull up, and there's 2 guys who work for the course, and they go, "Do you guys want to make a wager?" And I was playing like shit. I played bad, and the course just fucking kicked my ass. So
Yeah.
it was a nice combination. I go, I'm not wagering shit right now. So they were doing, hey, it's 2-1. You pay whatever, you wager, and we'll give you double in pro shop credit if you hit the green. So we were playing the pin 135. It was probably a little bit back. It was 119 to cover the front. And the tee could move back probably 15 yards. So we're talking about 150 max that this hole could be. So it's a par 3.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking and it's tight. And I found this out after, is there's 7 bunkers surrounding this green.
Jesus.
Here's the fun part. The green is 9 yards wide.
Wow.
9.
Wow.
So naturally I was pinned high and in a bunker.
Yeah, that's like I wonder how big the green is at the second hole at Heather Hill on the south course. Because that green's really fucking small. I don't know if it's 9 yards wide, but it's pretty fucking close. It's not more than 15 yards wide, I'll tell you that.
Heather Hill South. The first hole plays up the hill?
No, I'm sorry, the north.
Oh, okay. So I haven't played.
Yeah, I fuck them up all the time. The only one I know which one it is the middle, because it's the one in the middle. The north course, sorry. Because the north course, you start out, the first hole is a par 3, and then the second hole is a par 4. But when you get to it, like this green is not more than 15 yards wide.
Yeah. So there's one golf hole I've played with a green this tight, and it's a 6th hole at Harmon, but it's only the front half of the green, then it opens up.
Yeah.
So I hit it in the bunker. I get down into the bunker, bunker lip is above my shoulder. And I'm just standing down there. And I have, a 6-yard bunker shot
Yes.
with 9 yards to work with. So naturally I hit it out, and I probably hit it 1 yard into the rough. Then I tried to dunk that. And it's just like,
yeah.
So that's a cool hole because it's short, it's not hard, except it's super fucking hard. That's the 9th. Actually, so the most interesting hole I think is the 6th, because it's 240 yards. And we played a par 3. This is a par 4. 240. And we played a par 3 that was 230. So 10 yards.
Yeah.
And they give us an extra stroke.
Yeah.
So you're looking, it's out of bounds left, hazard right, creek runs across. So you can play this hole any fucking way you want to. You can.
Yeah.
You could hit a pitching wedge off the tee and have a pitching wedge in. You could hit an 8-iron off the tee and have a light wedge in. You could hit a 4-iron, cover the creek, and then have like a chip, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try to drive with a hybrid. I did that, almost went OB, ended up in between a rock wall, because beyond the rock, this is amazing. Beyond the rock wall is OB, but in between the rock wall, I was good. It's crazy. So I advanced that ball also 1 yard.
Yeah.
And then hit my 3rd onto the green somehow. I don't know, whatever. So then you get up to the green and you look at it, and it's like trying to land the ball on the top of a fucking Volkswagen Beetle. Like, that's the shape of the green. Like, hit it just a little too far, might not stop. Don't hit it too hard coming up the slope, might not get there. Might go further back beyond. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. For
Oh,
240, shit. We had 2 doubles and 2 bogeys in our group. And like, I tried to hit a hybrid, try to get there, because I just hit a decent hybrid on the last par 3. Just I tried to play it the same.
Right.
Like, nope, 4-iron should have been the play. Try to just nuke it in the bunker. It wouldn't have got there. Chip, maybe get out of there with 2 putts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, it kicked the ever living hell out of me. So,
is this like a super private course?
Super private, like fucking the oldest money old can get.
Yeah.
So, dude, their bar room, which it wasn't open on Monday, so we couldn't go in and whatever. I had to drive anyway, but they don't have a bartender in the bar room. You go behind the bar, take whatever you want, and sign off for it.
Wow. That's fucking incredible.
That
is literally straight out of 1882.
You literally go behind the bar yourself, whatever you want, then you sign a chit for it. And then I don't even know if they send you a bill. They might just take it from your bank account. I figure a place like that where it's like, it's like, hey, you've been invited to join myopia. Oh, I'll accept. Do you want to check? And nope. Routing number and account number. We'll handle the rest.
Yeah.
How much is it? You'll see.
If you have to ask, why did you accept?
No, if you have to ask, then that's a fucking denial.
Yeah.
But,
actually, we're full.
Yeah. Maybe you won't fit in here.
Yeah.
But I will say there was not one bad hole on the entire golf course. And I don't know if I've ever said that about anywhere.
Yeah.
Like even Franklin Park, there were like 2 or 3 that I really didn't like.
The second hole was fucky.
Second hole sucks. Fifth hole sucks.
Yeah.
16 sucks. But 16 could be okay if they just maintained it a little bit better.
Yeah. 16 was the one that was up the hill.
No, 16 was down the hill. It forced the layup. And then you had to hit
17 was up the hill. Yeah.
17's a good hole. 18's a little goofy, but what are you gonna do? So it was.
That's a course. I mean, I know it was a little pricey, but that's a course I would like to go back to and play again, when I'm like
Franklin?
prepared.
I think 70. So we paid 77 to ride on a weekend. I
Yeah.
think that's very reasonable for that golf.
For yeah, as do I. Um, that's what I mean.
And,
Like
and
my
so,
like I don't care. Like I'll pay whatever.
no, and the thing is, so it's like, so I am by no means, obviously, I'm a decent player, but I'm by no means like a golf course architect, expert, nerd, whatever. Um, but I've seen a few different styles, so I kind of like understand kind of what I'm looking at a little bit.
Yeah.
Put it to you this way. I know a couple guys in the area. So like Tillinghast only has one course in Massachusetts. He's the guy
Tilly
who did
in Bridgewater.
he did Wingfoot and also makes bomb raps in
Yeah,
Bridgewater,
also makes
Massachusetts.
great raps.
So he did Wingfoot. Now there's one course in Massachusetts. It's Berkshire Hills in Pittsfield. I hear it's beautiful. I ain't fucking driving to Pittsfield. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just not. It's
Yeah.
2.5 hours on a Monday. It ain't happening. Mackenzie, the guy who did Augusta National and Cypress and Pasatiempo, I think. He didn't do anything around here. Like, no fucking way. So it's like, no, I don't know what fucking Alistair McKenzie's all about. But
Right.
for Franklin Park, which is done by Donald Ross, it is up there in terms of course layout, options, strategy, fairness, punishment. It is up there with some of the private Donald Ross courses I've played in this state. Weano, Pecasset, Plymouth. Fuck, I feel like there's one more. Wannamoysit, it's in Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's right up there in terms of like layout, hole variety, challenge, but also like you and I can both go out there and like knock it around
Yeah.
and like playability. Like it's probably one of the stronger public courses that you see because most of the time when you think public golf, it's long, it's straight, it's flat.
Yep.
Or it's a little bit shorter, but it's straight and flat. But if they don't want it to be straight and flat, we'll just throw 400 dog legs at you. And it's like, this is dumb. There's some dumb fucking layout, like dumb layouts out there.
I would love to play. Maybe we should see if we can put it together at some point. Merrimack Valley.
Yeah, that's a Ross up there.
I love that course. I've played there a few times, a couple tournaments. That is a really nice. I would like to go there and play it for real. You know what we could do actually? Maybe this is something we can try and put together. We should try and talk to Scott, friend of the show. He was on a long time ago. That was when we were still in Jamie's room.
Yeah.
Because he lives up that way, and him and I used to play in the tournament. It was for DCF. It was like a fundraiser for one of the DCF offices up there. Maybe we could put that together. That would be fun. Dude, playing golf with Scott is a fucking riot. I mean, doing anything with him is a riot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought doing anything with him would be good.
Yeah. That would be great. That would be a fun day. Like I said, I think you would really enjoy that course because I love it. It's classic Donald Ross. Like it's all elevation change.
As long as you don't take the Ross and try to fucking fuck it up.
Yeah.
Like the only and like the way you fuck up like Donald Ross's shit is just planting too many trees. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
As long as there aren't too many trees getting in the fucking way.
Yeah. To my knowledge, I think there's not really a lot of fuckery. There's like one par 3 that there's like it goes tee box, marsh, green, and it might be like 170.
Yeah, no, it sounds like him.
You know, like there's no fairway in between.
Yeah, no, that sounds like shit he does.
Like there's not like a ton of blind shots that I can remember. Like I'm sure there might be like, maybe two or three,
No,
but
so
there's not a lot.
Ross doesn't actually do a lot of blind shots.
Yeah.
Some blind approaches. So like even Franklin Park, like so five, the blind off the tee blind approach that fucking pissed me off.
Yeah.
12 is a blind approach. 12, 13, 14 is a blind tee. We had to drive up and look ahead.
Right.
Um, and then a blind approach on 18. So that was kind of it.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Whereas myopia, it's like myopia. I feel like the guy who fucking designed it. So this is the thing is this place was so old that the guy who designed it like wasn't a golf course designer. Like, I don't think that was a profession.
It's like a couple well, not a couple, just one professor in particular we had in college was so old that his degree was in biology. Because exercise science didn't exist when he was in college.
Yeah, like you couldn't like back when this thing was built, you didn't call Mackenzie or Jones, like you didn't call those people. You just dug, I guess. I don't even know because there was no fucking car, so it had to have been guys digging, which probably means fucking slave labor. But
yeah,
that's neither here nor there. But yeah, the guy's not a famous designer except for the one course he did.
Yeah, that's funny.
And that's what some of those classic courses are. It's like some random dude. It's because he was the first. Like he was the one who bought the land, or he was the one who was in charge. Like
yeah, he just developed it.
Yeah, go design a golf course. It's like, okay, man.
All right. Well, I think we are. I think we're at that time. We can start wrapping this up.
Yeah. So I was thinking the other day because we have, our new grill your ass off promo code.
Yes. Big shout out to grillyourassoff.com. Use the promo code Sarcasm Pod when you go over there, when you check out, to get 15% off your entire order. So it's grillyourassoff.com, promo code Sarcasm Pod. And I did look it up. They are veteran owned and they do donate to charity. And they also give you the option. They've partnered up with Chive Charities. I feel like everyone knows the Chive. The Chive was like the original. It was around before Barstool, but it's like Barstool light. The Chive ended up like paving its own little way, and Barstool just became like a conglomerate. But the Chive I think it's older than, or it's been around more, I think, than Barstool. But they've partnered with them, and you can choose to also donate some money to the Chive charities, which is something that they run out of there. So big fan. I used Grill Your Ass Off tonight when I cooked, so I use it almost every day. They have phenomenal products. So go to grillyourassoff.com. Use a promo code Sarcasm Pod when you're over there for 15% off your entire order. There's the read.
So, yeah. So I was gonna ask for you personally.
Yeah.
If you were to walk around with sponsorships.
Yeah, so we're talking like a NASCAR jacket. Like every piece of clothing that I own has to be like a NASCAR thing.
Yeah, because I was gonna say it's like because you don't perform in anything, so it's like can't really
Yeah.
Whatever. So it's got to be like so like you'd be wearing like a hat, you got a branded shirt, sleeves, back.
Yep.
Who? And I'll go first because I've thought about it for like 4 seconds. And who would be sponsoring you personally?
So how many sponsors are we talking here?
I mean, I guess up to, we can go hat, left sleeve, right sleeve, either chest, and then where else could you logo yourself?
I mean, you could logo yourself anywhere. Up to 5. I was gonna say, like, Emma, you ever watch fighters, the MMA fighter shorts? They're fucking covered. It's like a
Yeah, yeah,
NASCAR
they're
jacket on
yeah,
shorts.
like a European hockey jersey.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll say up to 5. I like
Up
that.
to 5.
Yeah.
So number one, Snell golf balls. I play those all the time. There's nothing fun about this, but loyal to the Snell brand, and I spend so much time playing golf. Therefore, um, that should be an easy one. Number two is going to be Goslings, both the rum and the ginger beer.
Yes.
I enjoy those products very much.
As do I.
It's all in one. So Goslings gets the nod. I think I would also go Chiquita Bananas. Now, the reason Chiquita Bananas is
not Delmonico or whatever the fuck the other ones are called.
We're going Chiquita. Because every time someone's eating a banana now, I have inevitably some joke about sitting on it because I'm a piece of shit. And that's what I fucking heard, sitting on a fucking Chiquita banana. And I was actually at the golf. So I was at Sharon and I was eating on last Thursday. So I just popped in. I was just sitting at the bar eating really quick. And one of the women is eating a banana. And then like the other servers like doing their jokes like, oh, banana. Like, oh, Michelle will show you how to eat that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and then she's like, Mike, like, do you know how to eat a banana? And I was like waiting for them to go down the line and come to me.
Yeah.
And I was just going to turn around and be like, why would I eat a perfectly good banana that I could sit on?
Yeah.
And then I was just going to go back to like doing my thing and just like catch these people completely fucking off guard because they actually don't really know who I am.
Right.
So like that, like they see me around, but they have no idea like what's behind, like what's underneath the hat. They have no idea. So obviously that was when I was kind of like thinking about this. And then my last one, I was gonna give a fifth, like, so my fifth one was gonna be like sub 70 clubs because they're a fucking cool company, but it's not fun. Like there's nothing fun about that. Like you can't sit, like I guess you could sit on the clubs, I guess, but
you definitely could.
They're a little narrow for me, so they might just kind of like slide in. You don't really get the pleasure of.
Yeah, it might get lost.
Yeah, it might get lost. But my last one was gonna be the Mandarin, and that's going back. And I know we haven't gotten zombies pre-COVID time, but that used to be our spot. So
it was.
The Mandarin was gonna get my last.
I think they did sponsor us.
They might as well have, except we didn't get paid anything.
We paid them.
we just bucked the trend of when Jerry wasn't going to give us any more zombies, but as long as we were quiet enough, they gave them to us.
All right. So let me see. Well, the first one's really like stupid easy for me. It's Black Rifle Coffee. It's my favorite company in the entire world. I wear their hats, their shirts. I drink their coffee. It's the only coffee that I drink that I enjoy. Well, that's not true. I do enjoy Coffee Connection Coffee in North Attleboro. Shout out to them. Not a sponsor, but they could be. It's just Black Rifle Coffee is the best. I don't know what more you can say other than that. Once you try it, you'll never go back to anything else. The second one, I would say I'd probably go with this company called Fieldcraft Survival. It's actually the hat that I'm wearing right now. You guys can see it says Fieldcraft Mobility. They have a lot of really cool shit. I use a lot of their shit now just for work on my job, like being outdoors and doing all that stuff. I follow their podcast too, so they're pretty cool. So I would go Fieldcraft with that one. I have Black Rifle. I'm torn here because along the same lines as you going with Goslings, I also immediately thought of a liquor or an alcohol that I would need as a sponsor because I'm a fucking loser. Um, and I really want to go with Spindrift Spiked because again, not a sponsor of the show, but stay tuned. I don't know,
They,
maybe,
they were
maybe I'm
they were the
tipping my hand a
unofficial.
little bit here, but Spindrift Spiked, phenomenal. Like I mean, I should clip this and send it to them and be like, here's your free read, your ad read. So sponsor us. Um,
Definitely
but
don't listen to that episode a couple weeks ago where we blamed you for everything.
yeah. It's just they're awesome. They are it's very clean. It's a very clean seltzer. They use real fruit juice to flavor it with. I love it. It doesn't taste fake. It doesn't have a strong flavor kick to it, but that's because it doesn't have any artificial flavors or any sugar in it. It's only a 4%, which I don't know, depending on how you want to look at it, could be either a good thing or a bad thing. Some people like the higher percent stuff because they want to get fucked up. But if you look at like the lower percentage stuff, it lends itself more to volume drinking, which when we all get together with our asshole friends, we tend to drink for volume. So those high fucking octane beers are not a good idea.
I'll tell
Um,
you right now, the most overrated thing when you are over the age of say 23
yeah. Tell me you're gonna say Mick
is
Ultra. Say Mick Ultra.
no. Actually, I'll tell you right now. So you got to be a little bit older to get a real appreciation for that.
Yeah.
But the most overrated thing is high test beers, malt beverages, seltzers, whatever. Like one drink in a can,
Yeah.
that's a massive percentage
Yeah.
because you can only have like a couple and then you're fucking rocked.
Right.
And it's like it sneaks up on you. And like, wouldn't it just be so much easier just to drink like 7 Bud Lights and be probably fine as opposed to drinking 3 Belgian triples
Yeah.
that were made by monks,
Yeah.
like by hand? I don't know how
Yeah.
you pronounce
It's
beer
dumb.
by hand, but
Yeah, it is dumb.
so
Um,
super overrated is high proof shit like that.
yeah. And it also really doesn't taste that good. But again, Spindrift Spiked, the flavor is phenomenal. They have all great flavors. This is the one thing I also do have to say, because anyone out there that's a seltzer drinker, um, every single brand that you ever had, I guarantee there's one flavor in that variety pack that you don't like. Everyone hates the grapefruit White
I was gonna
Claw.
say why is it always grapefruit?
Yeah, yeah. So that being said, Spindrift Spiked has a grapefruit flavor. I went in super fucking skeptical. Oh, I'm sorry. No, they don't. It's mango because I don't like mango. That's what it is. They have a
That
mango
sounds like a
flavor
fucking personal problem.
and I don't like mango. So I drank it and I was like, this is going to fucking suck. This is the one flavor. I went in like, this is the one flavor of the variety pack that's just going to fucking sit around. And it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. I loved it. They in their variety pack, they had an iced tea flavor, which I think is my favorite. Lime, which is great because lime can be very like lame. Like the lime White Claw is fucking lame. Like you got to mix it with a lemon so you make yourself a Sprite Claw. Um, and the mango and a pineapple. Pineapple fucking smacks too. Actually, that could be my favorite. But I don't know. It's between the pineapple and the iced tea. But they're so fucking good, and you can drink a bunch of them and not get too fucked up again because it's only 4%. And then also, I didn't feel awful the next day. So again, like you said, one of the most overrated things, like as you get older, one of the most underrated things as you get older and you're boozing, is how you feel the next day. And depending on how old you are and how much tread you got on those tires, it could be how you feel 2 days later as well. And I felt fine. Like I've sat down and I've probably had, 3, 4, 5 of them. but don't tell my doctor that because I've never had more than 3 drinks in the sitting, according to my doctor.
But you shouldn't go to a doctor.
Yeah.
Don't go to a doctor. You don't have to lie to
Luckily, my doctor doesn't listen to this. But I've had, like I said, 3, 4, 5 of them. Woke up the next day and was like, I'm fine. Like I'm not like crippled. Like I'm not like stuck to the couch. But I'll drink, 5, 6 Bud Lights, and the next day I'm like, oh man, I feel fucking terrible. Or I'll drink like a bunch of White Claws or Trulies or any of those, and like I just don't feel good the next day. I didn't get the awful feeling for a Spindrift Spiked. So again, hey, there's your fucking read.
That was a fucking long ass fucking free ad.
Can you tell I'm trying to get them to sponsor the show?
I guess.
So that's the third one. The other one's who gives a fuck. Just kidding. So I got Black Rifle, Fieldcraft, Spindrift. Oh, that's what I started doing an ad read for them, a free ad read. But what I was going to say was I was torn between picking them and Bud Light. Even though I hate Bud Light, I've drank enough Bud Light probably to fill like a small pond in my lifetime. But I think I'm going to go with Spindrift because I also want them on the show.
After all that,
Yeah.
after all that, if you fucking flipped and didn't go Spindrift, I was gonna drive to North Attleboro and whoop your ass myself.
Yeah, as you should. Trying to think of some other ones here. I'm trying to think of like a food one, but there's no like food like brands. You know what I mean? Like I like meat. Like I don't know.
Omaha Steaks.
Yeah, it's like I don't eat that. Actually, you know what? Polar Seltzer. I have to go with them. I literally drink at least one of those every single day. So what do I got? Black Rifle, Fieldcraft, Spindrift, Polar.
Said up to 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with those 4 because I have not thought enough about this.
Or at all, really.
Yeah, or at all, really. So yeah, those are my 4 sponsors. So Jesus Christ, now that we got through that, my final thought is I'm gonna switch and go to a one that's not gonna lead us on a tangent. Well, potentially one that's less likely to lead us on a tangent is the Cleveland Indians are now going to become the Cleveland Guardians, which apparently, if you follow any of this on social media, the only way you'll understand this is if you're from Cleveland, because I think it's a stupid name. But apparently there's these like things on the highway. There's these statues things. Yeah, there's statues on the highway, and they're considered like the guardians of Cleveland. So like, it's like one of those like you had to be there kind of things, which is fucking lame. But I mean, I guess it's at least appropriate. Like the Boston Bruins, like there's no fucking Bruins in Boston. Like we don't have brown bears. So it is what it is, I guess, whatever. I think it's a dumb name. Their new logo is a direct ripoff of Major League. It's just a G, if no one has seen it, with like wings on the side, but it's got like the wings are like 3 lines, which is like the haircut from Major League, which Charlie Sheen was on the Cleveland Indians in the movie. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like random shit there. But the best part about it is they could be facing a potential lawsuit and trouble already with their name, because the Cleveland Guardians is already taken by
Arena football?
No, roller derby. The official roller derby team name for the Cleveland roller derby, whatever, is the Cleveland Guardians.
Dude, I can't believe they didn't fact check that.
Yeah, imagine that. They went through everything. They did the press release. They did the logo design. They did the rebranding. They made this huge hype video that I thought was actually kind of cool. But they didn't fact check to see if the name already existed, or they did and they don't give a fuck because they know they have way more money than probably the entire roller derby league combined. And they'll just win the lawsuit in court because they'll just keep it going forever.
They'll just buy the league and fucking fold it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the Cleveland Guardians, your new baseball team in Cleveland, actually is already a roller derby team, and already before it's even official is in legal trouble.
Love that.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty great. So that's going to do it for us. Thank you to mybookie.com. You want to go over there, use our promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up. Your first deposit, they will match up to 50% for up to $1,000. So over there, you go to mybookie.com or mybookie.ag. You just type in mybookie.com. It'll automatically redirect you to where you got to be. And then you use that promo code SarcasmPod. Again, when you make your first deposit, and they will give you a 50% match up to $1,000. They didn't bring the 100% match back this summer. That was their deal last summer. It was just a summertime thing, but what can you do, right? They're still a great sponsor. I mean, they're no Spindrift Seltzer or Spindrift Spiked, but whatever. So thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, again, make sure you give us a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, leave us a comment. If wherever you're listening right now, make sure you're subscribed over there. Go to the iTunes store. If you use Apple Podcasts, leave us a review, give us 5 stars. All of that helps our visibility and helps more new people find the show. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_Speaks, and the Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. So until next time, good